Monty, this is going good already.
It's going good already.
It's going good already.
I told you I saw from CRS.
I know.
Welcome to another episode of Uplifting Interviews with Total Strangers. I'm sitting with a total stranger. We're cruising down the 10 freeway in beautiful, sunny Southern California on the way to the airport. Where the hell are you going?
I'm going to Santa Cruz, California.
Now,
the plane's going to go to San Jose.
The plane's going to San Jose. You're going to Santa Cruz.
Then I'm going to go to Santa Cruz. Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
And what the heck are you going to do there?
Probably the first thing I'm going to do is go and get a milkshake.
Milkshake?
Yeah, vanilla milkshake. No whipped cream.
That's my favorite flavor too, vanilla.
Is it?
They say it's not a flavor. That's like the basic. Then you put strawberries for, then you put chocolate or whatever you put for flavor.
Who says this?
I don't know, but I mean, I think vanilla is the best flavor.
It's
French vanilla even a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
vanilla bean maybe.
But so you're not going to have a beer. You're going to have. Do you drink?
I do drink. Yes.
Want a shot of tequila? Brought to you by Rock and Roll Tequila. This is a friend's brand. It's really pretty
Nice.
good.
And you can play it.
What's that saying right there?
It's saying Iris work. I've got a
Iris?
call, it sounds like.
No.
Okay.
I'm working here.
Yeah, we're in the middle of an interview.
We're in the middle of
Iris,
an interview.
we'll talk to you later.
So, uplifting means positive thinking. Are you a positive thinker?
Generally speaking, yes.
Generally.
Yeah.
Not wholly.
Well, I do my best. I'm human at the end of the day. So there are
You're
moments
human.
where it does get rough.
Speaking of human, I interviewed a doctor the other day. How many bones are in your body?
300 and something?
Really? You're a strange one, huh?
Yeah.
Most humans only have 206. I ask these doctors, and they say, some people say, it's not important. I think it's kind of not important, but nice to know how many bones are in your body. And I interviewed a spine surgeon recently. $502,000 education that he owes today.
Okay.
I was driving him to his first interview for his first job as a spine surgeon. I asked him how many discs in the body. He didn't know.
I don't know.
He had to count them.
You had to count them.
But he has a $500,000 education to be a spine surgeon.
Yes.
Don't you think you should know how many discs there are that he operates on?
Probably. That seems like a good thing. Although I will state this. I will state that, isn't this about the era of you can just research that stuff anyways?
Yeah.
So does it make sense to spend your brain power remembering things, or does it make sense being a problem solver?
True. So it's 23, just for future reference. And that's the funny thing is,
I think I'm not a spine surgeon.
and that's funny you should say that, because I don't believe in education anymore. When the answer to every question is a millisecond away. The last interview was a Chinese couple, moved to New Zealand. I interviewed them just before you, and we were talking about the same thing. And then I was wondering how many organs we have. Do you know how many organs we have?
No, I have to count them.
So I went to OK Google, and in a millisecond, there's 12 organs, 5 vital.
Okay.
So again, is it important? No. Is it nice to know? I think yes. So it's nice to,
Especially if you're in that profession.
especially if you spend $500,000 to be a spine surgeon,
Yeah.
you should. And hopefully his next answer if they asked him in the interview how many, that's kind of a silly question to ask a spine surgeon. But anyway, I have fun in life. So
Good.
anyway, so you are. What's your profession?
I'm a sales engineer.
A sales engineer.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm a salesman, and I can sell ice to an Eskimo, but a sales engineer,
Yeah.
what does a sales engineer do?
Sales engineer, generally speaking, once again, it depends what company you work for, but is the technical counterpart to any sale, and it tends to be for any type of tech that's going on. So it could be for robotics, it could be, in my case, for software. And so what we do is we engineer systems, and then, as you said, basically create a proof of concept to showcase the value of whatever product you're working with to the end users. And then you generally work with an account executive or some other sales component.
So you don't get any commissions? No commissions?
I do.
Oh, you do get a commission?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But mine is based off of whoever I'm with, and my pairing. So for the account executives,
Gotcha.
they have some quota, and then mine's based off of that.
So I interviewed a gentleman who's a salesman for a satellite company. You know how much it costs to put a satellite into space? Another general thing you don't really need to know, but
No, but it's
nice to know that.
$50 million. Am I close?
No, it's by kilo.
By
They
kilo.
charge by the kilo,
Uh,
which is kind of interesting.
okay, hopefully it's a light rocket.
No, it's not the rocket.
Ten-
It's the satellite you're putting in space.
Oh, but it has
So
to go
it-
up on.
It has to go up in a rocket, so
Right.
let's just say it's 1 kilo, which is pretty small for a satellite, but
Okay.
it's $20,000 per kilo.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you have a 100 kilo
So
satellite, it's $2 million.
Okay.
Okay, and I learned also. I just love learning about these interviews. I just learned what the sales engineer is. They only last a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then they have enough fuel left in them when their time is done to push them back down into so they burn up, because
Okay.
they won't do that on their own. So they have to force them back down to burn up in the atmosphere.
Like with another rocket to actually.
No, they have fuel.
jets
They
or
have
fuel
engines
or something. Right?
Every satellite
Yeah.
has an
Okay.
engine in it. To keep
So you
them up
propel
there.
it towards Earth to burn it up.
Right, but so there's enough fuel to keep it in orbit for a certain amount of years.
Okay.
Then after they say, okay, it's time to toast it, they have enough energy to push it down to burn it up. So I found that fascinating. I find life fascinating, and I love doing new things every day, meeting new people every day. Unfortunately, I forget them the next day.
Well, you meet so many.
I meet so many. I met 500 in the last month, and every one of them was different, obviously. But they all had 206 bones in the body. Funny enough.
Not 300.
No,
Are you sure?
206. But then, of course, you got the 23 discs, and you got the 12 organs,
Okay.
But
Well, unless one of those bones is broken.
okay, so let's
Does
get
that still
to.
count as one bone?
No, actually, that would be 2 bones. I think. So you break all your bones. You now have 412, right?
Yeah.
This is my math. I went to high school.
Well, assuming you break all of them in half.
Exactly. Assuming that would be tough. I mean, I guess some people have, really got messed up,
Well, you ever have like you see a huge crash or something, and then they've like splintered their bones, and they got to get a fennel bone, and how many bones is that?
Well, I also learned from a nurse. He didn't go on camera, but I learned what subacute is. In the
Right. I have.
that's not a good situation. That's where you have all your bones.
It's why they have to come up with terminology just to make it sound okay. Subacute,
It's really bad. It's
Yeah.
where you had a break in your spine, and you cannot breathe on your own. You cannot eat on your own. The only thing you can do is talk.
Right.
And I asked, what kind of state are these people in? And I happen to know through my various experiences that the human body, or the most innate sense is for survival. That's, you always want to survive. You always, at 90 you want to be 100. You think at 30 you don't want to be 90, but you always want to live. And so even though you can't do anything, I would think, who would want to live in that state? But the family doesn't want you to die, because you can still talk. I guess if you couldn't even talk, or if you're brain dead, of course, then you have to terminate it. But I mean, that's a bad state.
Well, what about people who are depressed, right, and then commit suicide?
Well, it's against the law to commit suicide. They put you in jail for that.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's hard to keep a dead body
and
in jail.
If you do it twice,
smelling
they
for
put you in
a
the
while.
electric chair.
Yeah. Well, you got. I know you
Is
got
that
to kill
funny?
him twice. You
Come
got to
on.
kill him twice.
You're-
Come on. It's a good joke. Let's be honest.
We're trying here. This is uplifting conversations with total strangers.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the life. I mean, you should be able to take your own life.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, I'm gonna go out and murder, and you put me in. I mean, it just doesn't make sense that it's against the law. But
Yeah.
what's the punishment?
Exactly.
The-
Doesn't
the
make any
electric-
sense.
The electric chair.
But it is kind of funny, just that's how the world works at this
The
point in
world
time.
is messed up. And are you married? Children? Anything
No.
like that? No. Single guy?
Yeah.
Boy, it's dangerous. So being good
I thought
look-
the other was dangerous.
no, being good looking, young, and
Oh.
successful is a dangerous thing out there. But so you live in San Jose?
I live in Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, rather.
Yeah.
So you came down here to do
For work.
For work.
Yeah, middle
It
of
went,
the week.
It went well.
It did. I had a good trip. We started in San Diego and we're finishing in LA. So
Your team.
yes,
And how many's in your team?
this team was 2 of us.
There's 2 of you.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. You took your client out to dinner,
We did.
wine and dine him, a fancy restaurant.
We semi-fancy. It's called Herringbone,
Oh, there's one in
La Jolla.
there's
the
one
we
in
went to. There's one
Santa
in
Monica.
Yeah, I was gonna say they said they
Dollar
have one.
oysters
I know.
and happy hour. Let's
Right.
go. It's time. 4 o'clock. We can still
right?
make it.
Hey, there you go. No, it was great. It's a good restaurant.
Yeah, it's not
I,
bad. It's not
recommend
bad.
it. If you're into oysters.
Love oysters.
Do you?
Love oysters.
Why?
I don't know. My wife's French, and so
Okay.
I've learned to be a gourmet. I love caviar. I have the best caviar in the country at the best price. Are you a caviar fan?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I don't know about like a fan. I don't know it very well, but I like it a lot.
Caviar is the healthiest thing you could eat practically on the planet. I've got 3 pages I can send you of all the nutrients and minerals that are in it. It's an embryo. So you can imagine how much nutrients it has in it. But I mean, it's so delicious. It's from the Caspian Sea farm. No, it's from the Zers River, this one.
Okay.
And it's not farmed, it's wild caught. And it is drop dead delicious.
Wow.
And healthy as anything.
Yeah.
At any rate, so I sell
Those are
caviar.
really good.
One of my
You sell caviar?
I sell caviar.
Along with tequila?
Only to billionaires.
Only to
I
billionaires.
have one billionaire client.
You'll sell tequila to anybody. but-
Anybody.
Okay.
Anybody wants tequila. You got
But
it.
caviar, you can charge a premium, so.
I have the best price. It's 50. I sell it for $50 an ounce. It's the same thing you buy in a restaurant. It'll be $125 an ounce.
Why do you only sell to billionaires then?
Because I don't push it. I only have one customer, and he calls me. And
Right, that's fair. Would you be open to selling it to non-billionaires?
I would sell it to you.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Thanks, Monty.
Because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. This now is an uplifting conversation.
Hey,
I mean, we're covering it. We're covering it all the way to
We're-
friendship.
you-
Oh, we were in death and in prison. Dead bodies in prison.
Now we're eating caviar
Now
and
we're
drinking
eating
champagne.
caviar and I know this is progressing well.
Gotta love champagne.
Yeah. I like
I'm a
this.
drinking man myself. I drink a lot of tequila, by the way.
Okay.
I represent at least 3 tequilas. Pantera, which is a pink tequila, which is really good.
Okay.
And I know the owners of every company that I represent. So, and then of course John Paul's new tequila, which is the one behind me, Bandero.
Okay.
Did you see that? You didn't see it because you were in the back seat. It's behind my seat.
Oh, got it.
He just sold. He sold Patron last month for $5.1 billion.
Nice.
So he's got a little change in his pocket.
Seems
That's
like
his
a
new
good
tequila.
sale.
It's
Okay.
really good. And then the rock and roll. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I just found out that this is what I should say. Somebody told me this. This is how good this fact is. Somebody told it to me, so it's probably really
It's
legitimate.
just a rumor, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, you know how
What do you
most
got?
rumors are. They
Right.
turn into fact pretty quickly.
Right.
That tequila, it can only be called tequila if it's in fact from Tequila, Mexico.
Correct.
Just like champagne.
Well, actually, it's
just
Jalisco, Mexico.
like- it has to just be from.
From the region.
Region of
Yeah, it's
Jalisco.
like champagne has to come from Champagne, France.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now 2 people are telling me this rumor. It's got to be truth, right?
True, but I don't think it's called Tequila, Mexico. It's like it's Jalisco.
It's Jalisco and then anything
I
from
believe
there.
that's the region.
That's the
And there might be
region.
a town called Tequila. It doesn't say on this thing, but that's what I'm told.
Okay.
So there is a region down there. Funny enough, speaking of Mexico, this morning my first interview was a guy who's from a region in Mexico that produces more avocados than anybody. And,
really?
and they're the biggest avocado producer in the world. So immediate my mind is going to say, well, I've been looking for chicken feet and chicken paws for China containers. They want to buy 20 containers a month of chicken feet and chicken paws.
Who does?
China.
Oh.
Client in China.
Oh, a client in China. Got it.
And I'm thinking they probably want to buy, I'm going to get off.
Some avocado or some.
They probably want to buy avocados. Who doesn't want to buy avocados? Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
do you love guacamole?
Yes.
I'm going to give you
Was that the right
my
answer?
Yes, it is. I'm going to give you my secret recipe
Okay.
for the best guacamole you ever ate.
Do you give this to all your interviews?
No.
Okay, well this will be on YouTube, right? So should I write it down, or
Correct.
can we just skip to this part when I need to make that recipe?
No, you're going to go to, I'm not going to tell you right now.
Oh.
I'd have to kill you for that. No. You're going to go to a website.
Well, it was an uplifting
my
conversation.
charity's website. You're going to go to ilovesos.org. This is
Okay.
my charity's website. And you're going to go to the SOS show. Remember I was telling you about the SOS show? And the first episode is, I tell you about my charity, and I tell you about the SOS show, and I reveal my secret recipe. And it is killer guacamole.
Okay.
So you got that going for you now.
Awesome.
You make that for the girl, your next date, and she says she'll fall in love with you.
That's where I've been going wrong. I haven't been making enough guacamole.
Exactly. You have to make guacamole, make them laugh.
Okay,
Oh, my
make them
God.
laugh. That's a good one. That's a good piece of advice.
Oh, you have to make girls laugh.
Yeah. Well, also because it's fun for you too.
Well, humor, no one's going to die if they're laughing. You're on your
Actually,
deathbed
I hope that's how I die.
laughing.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. So let's see what else bases on this uplifting show with my new friend.
Dying via laughter. I mean,
Dying of
what's
laughter.
more uplifting than that? That's awesome.
I imagine people have died laughing too hard. They probably had a stroke because they're laughing too hard.
See?
But actually, I think having sex dying, because then you're coming and going at the same time.
That was good. That was fun. That was fun. That was fun. Come on. You liked it. I liked it. You guys probably liked it too.
It's obvious. Well, I like to think I kill me. You know, I like to think I'm a funny guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So now we come to the section of the show where I give out free advice.
Okay.
Even though most people don't respect free advice.
What does it mean to respect free advice?
Well, take it.
Oh,
in other
okay,
words,
got it.
if I charge you $10,000 for a piece of advice, you're gonna cherish it. You're gonna really take it home. Like going to a psychiatrist when you spend a lot of money, $300 an hour. You're gonna take his advice because supposedly he's an expert. But because I'm a modern day philosopher, I've been around the world, done a few things. I do have some fairly good advice on women, on dating, on business, on families, on children, on things like that. So now it comes to where you can ask me any question on any subject and see if you can stump the professor.
Stump the professor.
Stump the professor.
Well, should we start with easier questions and then progress? We can go in any direction.
Any direction. You can mix them up.
For the guy this morning that you said was one of the more interesting interviews that you had today, do you really actually understand what he does?
Well, to be honest, no, because it's such a. I mean, he's working with probably a spectrum microscope where it's so small you can't even see it with the human eye, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And how do you manipulate things? You know, I mean, how do you teach an animal like a dolphin to do flips? How would you teach him to do that? I mean, to me, there's certain things I just don't get. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a good one. I had a friend who worked at SeaWorld and she trained dolphins, and she actually has a cool story. It's more of a story, less of a question.
Okay, let's go with that. That sounds good.
Okay. Well, she started out in college and she was a pretty good student in marine bio. She ends up getting a full ride to go to Australia. So she kind of finishes her program there and then basically finds an internship in Hawaii where they're training dolphins to seek out mines.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she did that for a while, and then of course that gets boring after you blow up all the dolphins, and then what you need to do is you need to, go to something like SeaWorld where, hopefully they're taking endangered species or animals that need rescue, right, and giving them a home. If that's your belief, or if you're, on the other side of the fence where they basically all they do is torture animals there, and so
right.
She, as far as I seen, didn't really torture any animals, and she then ends up going and works at SeaWorld for a while and ends up training dolphins there.
So do you know any secrets?
Trains them to do flips.
But how do you train a dolphin? They don't speak
Fish.
English.
You train them with fish.
I
You
know.
train them with rewards.
I understand.
You train humans like that too.
Understood. I completely agree with the reward system. But how do you show? Here's how it's done, and you do the flip first.
Yeah.
So you can see how it's done. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, who was the first dolphin really to do the flip? And then they're like, "That's what we want you to do."
And then they teach their siblings, and they pass it on.
Once you have one dolphin that does it,
Great.
the rest of the dolphins are
100%.
like, "I get it. You did
100%.
that.
100%.
Makes sense."
100%.
Who's that first?
But
dolphin?
the first one, it's like I can understand holding it up. They go up and they grab it. That's easy. But do a flip and then do a double. Now, okay, you got that down.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Georgie, you're doing great with the flip. Now I want you to do a double flip.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, this is amazing. They're amazing creatures. So I don't know
whether that's more amazing than what this guy who I just showed you does. So he's training DNA. Can you remember what it said? He's training DNA, molecular DNA to train to build machines for artificial intelligence, basically.
Kind of the other way around, but yeah. He's basically using AI, right, and artificial intelligence to be able to program DNA.
But in a test tube.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's not like,
studies.
it's a machine. It's something in a test tube.
Yeah.
That's pretty small, test tube.
So it's,
That's
you get the DNA to be smarter and figure out how to replicate itself in a better way.
And now how to talk to the DNA. What language does it speak?
Chemistry.
French?
Yeah, chemistry.
It speaks chemistry. Very good.
Yeah, so you use different...
So you got a pretty good grasp on that one.
Yeah, not the bone question, because that's something I can look up on Google, but definitely in terms of what this guy does, makes a little bit more sense to me.
Wow. I mean, he's the only one in the world doing it at Caltech. So again, with that scientist, I learned a little bit about Caltech.
Okay.
When you go to Caltech, it's a lifer. Not only do they educate you and pay you for your education, because you're getting paid as you go to school, but then you have a job there the rest of your life. No one leaves. Once you're in Caltech, you're in a family of scientists. JPL's there. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing process, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that's a good business model.
Yeah. You know? Well, it's like Google almost, I mean, you get in Google and you're probably never going to move because they treat you good. And, you've got a lot of room for growth there.
Yeah. So we're going to just dive into it. They might get personal. I hope that's all right.
That's fine too.
Okay. So do you have a wife or have you been married?
I've been married 36 years.
Okay.
Well, the first wife, only wife.
Okay.
She's had a few husbands before me. Okay. Took her a little while to get used to the system, and then she found the best.
Okay, nice.
That was good. Took her 4 husbands, but she found me, and I've been married 36 years. Mm-hmm. I raised 2. Well, she had 2 girls. I raised one of them, and then I raised my 2 boys, and they became tennis professionals. Traveled around the world, played the Grand Slams.
No way.
I traveled with them, had a wonderful time. They're grown. They have children. But I feel I've got a lot of feelings on children and childbearing, and that the world would be a better place if parents were parents instead of just raising pets.
Yeah.
And I feel that you should sit down with your kids. Listen up, people. You should sit down with your kids every night for dinner, religiously, forever. And then I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a murderer out there today. There's murders every day, every city, that sat down with their parents for dinner every night. I don't think there is one. I mean, there's probably one, but I don't think there's 2. I hate to be. My son goes crazy when I say things like that. Because I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
I get what you're saying.
You get love. You don't go out and kill people after you get. Well, even if it's not love, it's time.
Have you ever had a bad family dinner?
Well, of course, everyone has arguments and stuff like that. But I mean, the point is, give your kids time. Too many people are raising their kids with babysitters. Mm-hmm. They're so busy working, and a lot of things I believe in is don't make too much money when you have kids. Mm-hmm. If you want to make a bunch of money, because typically what happens is you make a shitload of money, your wife divorces you, because to make a shitload of money, you can't be there. You have to be traveling, you have to be working like a dog, 12, 14 hours a day, trips for weeks at a time, and then your wife divorces you because you think you're doing it for the family, and you may be, but you're not there for the wife, you're not there for the kids, for the softball game, for the play. The kids hate you, and you end up alone with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you want to make a lot of money, make it after your kids are grown, because you don't need that much money.
What about before?
No, well, or before, you could do that too.
Okay. I just wanted to double check that that's still an option.
That's an option. You could do that before. Okay. But I don't believe in living for the future or living in the past, because the worst thing that ever happened, I think, to a human. My parents didn't make it past their 30s, so it's about how much time you have on the rock. So I think the worst thing you can do is say, at 40, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to party. I'm not going to live. I'm not going to spend any money until I'm 40, and then I'll coast for 60 years and have a great time. And then you die in an automobile accident at 39 and a half. You wasted your time on the planet. You just blew it. Yeah. You blew your time on the planet, on the rock. I call it the rock.
The Rock, nice.
The Rock. How much time do we have on the rock? I've been on the rock 63 years. My parents didn't pass.
Do you like that movie?
The Rock?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
I do. Nice.
Of course, I suffer from CRS, as I told you, so I don't remember anything about it.
No, but
except I remember the title.
Good.
And I think Sean Connery was in it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It is.
See, one of the things about suffering from CRS is you get to enjoy the same movie over and over again because you don't know the ending.
Wow.
I go to Redbox and I come home with a movie, and my wife says, we saw that last week. So I don't rent them till I talk to her. So I get on the phone at Redbox and I say, have we seen this movie? She says, yes. I say, did I like it? She says, yes. But I don't rent it because she has a memory. As a matter of fact, she has a real good memory.
Okay.
So she's remembered all my...
They say opposites attract.
All my...
so.
You know how many tickets I get in this freaking Culver City?
A lot?
A lot.
Nailed it.
But I don't think... I was clicking that one. I was in the intersection when it turned red.
Oh, yeah, no, that's...
That was a good one, right?
I think so.
So it's the only city in Los Angeles where when you get a ticket, a red light ticket, you have to pay it. All the other cities are these bullshit companies that do it, and you can just throw it away. And all of my red light tickets have been in Culver City.
Because you don't throw those away. Well, what happens if you throw a ticket away from
get
another ticket?
No, you go to jail. You know, I mean, when you don't pay a ticket, you get a felony, not a felony, but a warrant for your arrest. You know, you have to pay your tickets. When they're legitimate tickets from the police department, when they're a company that's just making money for red lights, that doesn't count. A lot of people are going on that.
I'm not sure that I know that either. That's truth. You're saying that like truth.
It is truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe there's other companies, but
it doesn't go
don't they
against
all
your
filter
record.
back
They
to-
don't sue you. You know
What happens?
It's not worth them to go after it.
just
And if you
disappears?
did fight it, they'd never show up and you win anyway. Because it's not worth their time to show up for a red light ticket. When they're out of state, there may be a company that's in Alaska, you don't know.
What if you get just a lot of red tickets, though, in that place? Then is it worth it to go after you? Because they've got a lot to collect on?
Well, I'm going to say no, because
They would never remember. They're not like
it's
doing
so
that.
automated, you know? I mean, it's
Yeah.
There's nobody
That's probably not being stored in a database
I
somewhere.
don't
or
think so.
anything. Okay.
But then again, if you know, call us, let us know. So this is a hell of a long one. We've got 26 minutes, 47 seconds? This is our longest interview so far. You've been
Today?
great. No, in the series. The
Awesome.
longest. Because
Wow.
we're
setting records
We're
already,
setting,
too?
we're setting records. We're making history here. The thing is, I want to keep it because America has no, what is it? Not retention, patience.
Mm-hmm.
They want 2-minute or 30-second, informational things.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to sit here for 26 minutes except you and maybe your friends because I think we had an entertaining conversation so far. I think we entertained. If someone's watching, they got some laughs from this.
I mean, as soon as you put on YouTube, it's like you're famous too, right? So it's,
I guess.
you want to show everybody.
But I think it's we've learned a few things.
You know what we could do is we could just splice it up, put a couple commercials in the middle, and then it will just be like a TV show.
Well, that's what I did with the SOS show. Basically, there's 28 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're all about a half hour long, and basically it's these kind of interviews. And then I put my 30-second commercial for SOS, my charity, and then I put my song that I wrote for SOS in the back. So it's got a header, it's got the commercial in the middle, and it's got the song in the end. It's a pretty beautiful song I wrote. But anyway, it's much better.
Do you
than
write
Freeway.
unbeautiful songs?
No, just beautiful songs.
Oh yeah,
Just write
that's
beautiful
right.
songs.
Okay, good.
No, I've only written. Here's a funny thing. I always say I've written more books than I've read. It's
Okay.
a little bit of an exaggeration because I've read a couple books, but I've written my book, which is called Lester's Legacy, and you should read it if you like to
Okay.
read books. It's on Kindle. And there's another book you should read. John Paul gave me it recently. When you read it, you probably already read it because it's a wonderful book. It's a bestseller for many years called The 4 Agreements.
I haven't read it.
It's a wonderful book, and you'll probably want to buy it and give it as gifts.
Okay.
And give it to all your family as gifts, give it to friends as gifts. It's when the world follows these 4 agreements, the world will be a better place and you'll be a better human. Here they are. Number 1, be impeccable with your word.
Okay.
Easy said. How many people keep their word? Number 2, never take what people say personally. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's usually not about
This would
you.
have been a really long car ride otherwise, huh?
Third, never make assumptions. And I did it yesterday. I lost a big deal, and I was thinking it was me. He's canceling because he didn't like me. I made an assumption, and I made a couple other assumptions on the same deal. Well, if it wasn't me, why is he doing this? And I'm thinking, Monty, you're making assumptions. That's the 3rd agreement. Don't do this. It's not healthy. It's not smart. And I fell prey to making assumptions. Someone doesn't answer the phone. Oh, like a girl. Oh, he doesn't like me anymore, or he's ignoring me, or they're making assumptions.
Right.
So there's lots of reasons not to do that. And the 4th, which is real simple, always do your best. That's all you can do, right?
That's all you can do, yeah.
But you got to do your best. So for me lately, I'm doing my best in entertaining, creating some content, spreading some knowledge, giving my experiences to the youngsters.
Okay.
Counseled a lot of people in the last month driving. I had this one girl, she was literally afraid to go back to this treatment center that her parents had put her in. And I counseled her for 4 hours. I turned the machine off and I counseled her for 4 hours. And I said, well, you have to leave. You have to follow your instincts. And she goes, well, they're going to arrest me. I said, they're not going to arrest you. She actually thought the police would come and arrest her for not going back to her self-committed program.
It's
self-committed. Not
no, I mean I get it.
Police committed.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have the police commit
right.
you, or organization that's got authority, but not when you do it yourself. Mm-hmm. They're only going to sue you if you don't pay the bill. Yeah. If you pay the bill and you don't show up, they're probably happy. Less work for them.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's and she wanted to be a writer. I asked people, what do you want to do in life? She wants to write. So I told her, very simply, 5 minutes a day. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. Write 5 minutes a day. And it adds up. It's 150 minutes a month. Yeah. And it's over 1,000 a year. And then it'll grow from 5 minutes because you're going to enjoy it. Do what you enjoy in life. And too many people just have a job. Yeah. And they don't look forward to what they're doing. Or their day. And they live for the weekends. And that's why it's called the rat race. We're just going along in this path and existing. And then for 2 days we maybe have some fun. And some people work 7 days a week. Just because they have to, just to survive. Yeah. What is survival? Is survival, just paying the bills and existing? And I mean, there's a lot of, questions that you have to ask yourself. What do you want from life? I say if you're going to live in a city like this, there really should be only 2 reasons you're in this city. One is to find a mate, because there's a lot of people here, and 2 is make a bunch of money. If you don't care about those 2 things, get out of Dodge.
What about the weather?
You live in a city for the weather? There's weather everywhere. You want to live in a city like this for the weather, where there's murders every day, where there's hit and runs, where there's traffic, earlier the couple from China, they moved from Shanghai to New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, because they can't breathe in China. Yeah. They moved because of that. So you want to live in a place where right now the air quality is not that good in Los Angeles. It was a lot worse when I was a kid. At stage 4 smugglers weren't even allowed to go to school. But the weather's better, but it's still not great. But it's sunny. They have beaches. I mean, LA has lots. It has theater. It has the beaches. It has water skiing. It's got snow close by. It's got a lot of entertainment. It's but I mean, you want to raise a family here? My son's raising this family in Ojai. Mm-hmm. You know what Ojai is? Yeah. Beautiful little town. Yeah. That's a place you want to raise kids, not LA. I mean, those people right there sitting on that corner can get hit any moment by a car just going out of control, or a drunk. How many drunk drivers are on the road? In the valley, there's 10,000 drunks every happy hour in the valley alone. Because there's that many bars and that many people drinking and driving.
Really uplifting.
This is an accident. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got a little serious there.
No, but hey, being serious can be uplifting too. That's the reality in which we live. So we have
it's uplifting, but it's also educational, informative, hopefully
it's
fun.
All those things, exactly.
It's got a lot of things.
It is.
And
so why are you in Los Angeles?
My kids are here.
But I thought you said it's not a good place to raise a family.
No, I already raised them.
Oh.
I can try to convince them. Well, actually, Lester's done the right thing in Ojai. He's raising his kids there. My other son is just pregnant. His wife's pregnant now, so hopefully they'll get out of Dodge as well. But so we're here basically for the family. We might move to Mauritius, which we were there last year. Beautiful island off the coast of Africa. Beautiful place.
What part of Africa?
So, West Africa.
West Africa, okay.
Yeah, a beautiful island. Her cousin lives there. We went there, visit him. It was wonderful. Bahamas, love the Bahamas. I have an island for sale, by the way. If you want to buy an island, it's only $100 million. It's off market, trophy island.
Okay.
Beautiful island. I'll tell you more about that. But so I think our journey's coming to an end. We've got, how many minutes does that say? 50?
I don't know. Where are we?
you kidding
we're at
me?
35.
35, I can't see that far.
I don't know. It says out of 36, 39. Does that mean how much memory you have left?
I don't know.
I don't know. We've got another minute and a half. Hey,
It's
Monty,
been
really
great.
nice.
I think we
Absolutely.
had a great time went by pretty quick.
It did?
Well, I hitchhiked around the world as a young man, and I always felt my obligation to thank the person giving me a ride was to make sure the conversation flowed, because it goes by very quickly when you're engrossed in, and it doesn't have to be serious. We got a little serious
It was
there,
good conversation.
but we had some fun stuff.
We did.
talked about some fun stuff.
It was
And-
up, it was down, it was all around.
There you go.
I mean, we went from
It's
life
the
to
whole. We did the whole thing.
death. Yeah.
And we covered only half the subjects I needed to, but we had some fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and there's more to come.